We want to go straight to Catherine Falders now. She's our managing editor in Washington covering politics. Catherine, the president just said in a social post that he signed the bill to release the Epstein files. What else did he say in that post?
He did. That's what he says. He says that he signed the full bill to release the Epstein files that just came to his desk this afternoon. He does this, Lindsay, in a pretty long social media post here. He rails against Democrats. He essentially says, obviously, we know that he launched this investigation, that he directed his attorney general earlier this week to launch an investigation into Democrats. He says because of that investigation and because he signed this bill, that maybe more information about them will come to light. Again, that's the changing of the narrative here a bit. He goes on to say that his Department of Justice has already handed over thousands of pages of documents to Congress. What he's referring to there are documents that DOJ did already hand over more than a month ago to the House Oversight Committee. It's not new documents, if you will. It's only a fraction of the documents that the government has in their possession. So the big question here going forward, of course, is when do we see these documents?
Look, Trump ain't got nothing to hide. Trump ain't got nothing to hide. I feel like Trump was protecting a lot of people on this other side. I feel like when these files finally get released, it's gonna be some bombshell reports. You already had, I believe it was the Harvard president kind of pushing back or stepping back because of the things that he's in those files for. A lot of people are gonna fall from these Epstein files. But the question I have is this: why didn't they put this pressure on Biden to release it? It's because there's a lot of things for Democrats. You already had Hakeem Jeffries. They said he invited or wanted to speak to Epstein. It's just all these things. So you thinking that it's Trump that's dirty, but you got to look at now, is it the Democrats? Bill Clinton on the jet. Who knows what he was doing? We have yet to hear about a Republican. So what did we do? And as far as Trump, I wholeheartedly believe that he was trying to protect Democrats. I just feel like, what the Democrats are doing is they're just trying to put more stuff on his plate to put pressure on him when he's trying to take care of the country. He knows he's not on those files. He knows that the Democrats will get crushed. But what all this is going to do is going to create headlines for these Epstein files and take away headlines for what he's doing for this country. You have to look at the long game. You got to look at how Democrats are trying to get the media to speak more about the Epstein files than actually speak about what he's doing for the country. Luckily, he has Truth Social. Luckily, he has, conservative news outlets that can continue to push it. But I feel like the Epstein files is nothing but a big distraction. That's what I feel like. I feel like what they're doing with the Epstein files is putting pressure on Trump to sign it. He did. He signed it real quick. Go ahead. But what it's doing is taking away the media attention from him on positive things that he's doing. That's what I don't like. This is why us as the people, we got to think differently and understand what is the true game of these Epstein files. These Epstein files, they've been had them for 4 years, I think, 4 or 5 years. They've already had them. So why didn't they put on pressure to the previous administration? Because it would have been a situation where it would have took away the media attention from whatever they were trying to do or whatever fake things they were trying to show that they were doing. This is nothing but just taking away attention. If you're not smart enough to think about that, just look at it. Look how much media coverage the Epstein files get. I'm talking about the Epstein files. It's just one of those things you have to talk about. And each person that gets in trouble will be on ABC, Fox. It will continue to be the news cycle because we're going to find out so many people that are nasty. We're going to find out so many people that are crooks. We're going to find out so many people that are leaving. And this is the only way that the Democrats can get some type of attention on them. What I always tell my daughters, there's no such thing as bad attention. Either going to get good attention or bad attention, but still it takes up the media's attention and the media's focus on real issues and real things that we have going on. So I just see it as a media play to take away, attention from Trump and to take away the things that he's doing right. So Epstein files, we know in this world, man, this world is nasty. A lot of people in power are nasty. A lot of people in power mess with young girls. All we're going to see is more and more that it's going to be people that you already knew that were kind of nasty, but it's just going to finally be put out there to show these people as nasty. But you're already going to know from previous interactions with that person, previous reactions that you see with this person, that they was already nasty. The thing that we have to understand is that we can't let this, I want to say, take away our attention on the real issues that we have in America. Okay. But the Epstein files is nothing but an attention taker from real things. But we know who's nasty. We know who getting busy. We know, they already knew who was on those files. They already knew. But this is why Trump signed this with no hesitation. I'm gonna sign it. Go ahead.
Now, the ball is in DOJ's and FBI's court now on this. Will they post them on their website? How do we intend to see these? When will we see these? If we read the bill text closely, it says very specifically that documents can be withheld due to an active investigation. Is that something we end up hearing from DOJ? Do we ultimately see all of these files? There's still a lot of unknown questions, but the reality is it went to Trump's desk. He signed it. So now we have to see what the administration releases of these files and when they do that.
That's what it is. It's just gonna hold up people's attention. If you don't believe that, something wrong with you. This is why we got to start thinking outside. Why would they bring these Epstein files up? Why would they want him to sign it? It just takes away time and energy from what he got to do for the country. This guy's already not on this earth. This guy, people know who was involved with this guy. What does it do for America? We find out who the nasty people are. What does it do for us? Do we gain from this? What do we gain from this? Just the ability to talk about it, just the ability to point the finger at that person, just the ability to say, ooh. But what does it do for Americans? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. How does it affect your wallet? Nothing. How does it affect inflation? Nothing. How does it affect, transgenders taking over women? Nothing. This does nothing. So why do we care so much about it? Like, well, am I going to talk about the Epstein files anymore after this? Probably not, because I already know what the goal is of the Epstein files is to get people's attention off of the real issues that we have. It's always one of those things that's like, ooh, pay attention over here while I do something over here. That's what we have to understand is if something's over here, you're not going to pay attention to what's over here. We already know a lot of people in the Democratic Party are crooks. We already know that they're nasty. We already know. All we're just going to do is put their name out. But what does it do? Does that person get kicked out? Does that person do these things? No. Well, what does it do for you? Does it put more money in your pocket? No. Does it help your babies in their future? No. So what is the point of all this? You see what I'm saying? Like, are you really focused on the Epstein files, or should you be focused on getting off of food stamps and living a better life and taking care of your kids? So that's what I'm saying. Be smart, America. Understand that this is nothing but a distraction. That's the word I've been trying to find this whole time. Distraction. This is nothing but a distraction to have you talk about it. And now this. And that's the reason why I believe that Trump signed the bill so quick. So he wants to get it over with. Sign it. Now DOJ got 30 days to release it. They'll release it. But why would you want to release it online? It's just so people can continually just looking at that and continue, but they're not focused on the real issues. We have a real issue that's going on. We have a war of religion in our country. We have a war of genders in our country. These are things that are bigger issues that can really affect us. Somebody being in the Epstein files and you find out they're nasty does nothing for me. Does nothing for me. It doesn't make me richer. It doesn't make me have lower interest rates. It doesn't make me have lower taxes. I can care less about the Epstein files. I feel like Trump was using the Epstein files as a negotiating tool to get people to bow down. That's why I feel like Trump should have kept the Epstein files and said, nah, I'm using this as negotiations. But you're going to start seeing people that's falling off. You're going to see people that's retiring, all these things. Yeah, good for them, but that just means another person that's not in them Epstein files, but still nasty, going to be in power. So what does me knowing what's on the Epstein files help our country now? If these people get out of power and they're just going to put somebody else in power with the same issues, that's just not on the Epstein files. I can care less. It does nothing. Does the people that get fired from these people being in the Epstein files, do they get fired from their job? Do they put black people into power? Probably not. Does it put minorities in power? Probably not. Does this fight against transgenders taking over women? Probably not. Does this fight over extreme Muslims trying to take over America? Probably not. So who cares? Who really cares? Let me know your comments in the comments. Let me know your comments in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for your support. Let's keep this thing rocking.